YouTube? What's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another Washington Commanders video. And in today's video, I'm coming on here with the video where we're going to be talking about should the Washington Commanders trade wide receiver Dyami Brown. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 6,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Let's get straight into today's video. So, it's crazy that I even have to make a video like this, but I'm going to do it. So, there was an article that came out. I want to say it was on the some Commanders little like plugin like website. Like it was an organization that wrote the article, but like they had a separate branch that specifically covers the Commanders. I don't even know the name of the article. I'm not even gonna go out my way to look up the people that wrote it, because to me it's just foolishness. That we even have to talk about something like this. But again, it's March. So what is it to really talk about? Free agency has pretty much dried up. There's not really no moves being made from our team and just any team in general. The next biggest thing that Washington has to listen out for is probably the biggest thing that we've been wanting to hear since this news have came out about Dan Snyder selling the team. So right now, with it not being nothing coming out and we're all expecting to hear about what's going to happen with the owner situation, people are starting to get desperate for clicks, views, and rates. So they're going to try to do whatever they can to poke you, the viewer out there, to their article to read and give them some clicks. So that's what I felt like was happening here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there was a report that came out that says the Washington Commanders are actively shopping wide receiver Dyami Brown. And when I heard this, yes, I didn't jump right on to make a video. Why? Because one, it's a rumor, and two, it's not even a rumor that I believe in. Like, if it was a rumor that has some kind of traction that I could like buy in a little bit, then I would like, all right, you know what? Okay, let me jump on it right away. But I wanted to give the beat reporters time to finally shut this thing down, as they did, as John Keim did, because I just never bought into this. We would not be doing no good deed for trading Dyami Brown. One, we're not going to get no type of compensation out of him that we could rather just keep him and use him. We would be losing a weapon, and we would be losing untapped potential. Dyami Brown's going into his third year, and we have barely seen what this guy could really be used as. He's had glimmer of showing talent, but due to the lack of quarterback consistency and the lack of offensive play calling, offensive creativity, Dyami Brown has not been able to show what he can do on a consistent basis. Of course, we all know the sweet Week 5 performance versus the Tennessee Titans, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. That was just the beginner. And when I saw that game, y'all know I streamed that game, obviously, as I stream every single game. I thought this was finally the breakout of Dyami Brown that we've been waiting for. Remember, his rookie year, he barely did anything. I mean, he had a great catch. His most memorable play for me from his rookie year was that catch in Week 2 across the middle of the field versus the Giants. And after that, I really didn't see much of Dyami. And then this year, that was his most memorable game. That was his most memorable moment, with the 2 touchdowns and whatnot. But he had other great plays, like the one in the Falcons game, where I believe it was the one-hand grab across the middle. And then Dyami Brown was huge in the Eagles game too, with that catch right before halftime. This guy has so much untapped potential, man, that I just know if we can get the right quarterback and the right play calling to be around him, we're going to have, obviously, yet another wide receiver that can contribute to this offense. Man, we have 4 young wide receivers. Now, obviously, Terry McLaurin being the eldest, well, I want to say, the elder statement. I want to say he's older than Curtis Samuel by like maybe a year. And then Curtis Samuel, but they're still in the prime of their careers. They're still pretty much young. And then you got the 2 young guys, and Jahan Dotson and Dyami. right? This wide receiving core is already good with those three. Now you get Dayami going this year, man. And guess what? Made it even more sweeter. And what would make this probably one of the dumbest moves? Not probably one of the dumbest moves Washington could do at this current moment is his friend, his former college teammate, a guy that he hooked up so well and hooked up with many times in college for touchdowns. Sam Howell is potentially the quarterback one. And notice I said potentially because, Ron Rivera doesn't want to make it easy. He doesn't want to give him the job right away. We know who's quarterback one. We know Sam Howell's quarterback one. But for the sake of not just giving him the job and crowning him QB1 in March, we're going to say potentially. But that would be so dumb of Washington to do that. That would not make no sense at all to trade Dyami Brown at this current moment. I like his skill set, man. I really do. He's a guy that can do it all for real, for real. I mean, he's mainly a deep threat, but he can run the underneath routes. He can run the quick slants, the drags. I just felt like Scott Turner never gave him the opportunities to show what he can really do. Dyami is a really, really, really good receiver that has so much potential. You just got to get it out of him. Yes. Was he a one-trick pony coming out of UNC? Yeah, he was a deep threat. I mean, but even coming into Washington, we rarely seen that. We only seen that in the game versus the Titans, and that was 2 touchdowns, 2 catches. So we still are yet to really see what Dyami Brown can grow into. The guy's only going to get stronger, only going to get bigger. Got to stay healthy, for sure. But this is the year under the new coaching of Eric Bieniemy, and now his friend being the quarterback. It makes so much sense to keep him. It makes so much sense to feel like this is finally the year that he can break out. Him and Sam Howell was working out together the other day, as that shouldn't be too surprising. But like, bro, we can't afford to lose him. We already lost Cam Sims to free agency. So what would even be making the sense to trade him, bro? Especially when he hasn't created no kind of value. Now, it'll be different, right? If Washington, they came out and said Washington was actively trading Dyami Brown, and Dyami was like, man, I got too much talent in this room, and I feel like my talent is getting wasted here. I want to go somewhere where I'm going to actually be valued on the roster and actually be used. And if Dyami Brown was standing pat on that, then I'd be like, hey, you know what? I don't want to trade Dyami, man. I really think we can get him something going here, get something going here with him. But if he wants to go somewhere else because we're not utilizing him, then by any means, man, go ahead and grant him his wish. That would be if Scott Turner was still here. Okay, if Scott Turner was still here, I would be like, you know what? Okay, I'm dude, give him what he wants. But for the simple fact that Sam Howell is his quarterback now, the Eric Bieniemy, new offensive coordinator, so I'm expecting him to get guys like Dyami Brown, Logan Thomas involved back in the offense. I don't want to trade him. But if this was the same kind of regime on the offense side of the ball, I would understand why he would want out. But since it's not that, it will be no reason to trade him. And we would be literally doing ourselves a disservice by doing that. Because you look at it like this now. Who's your top 4 wide receivers? When you think of this Washington Commanders wide receiving core, Dyami Brown is a part of. So you're down with just be breaking that up. So right now, it's when you think of the Washington Commanders wide receiving core up tops, it's Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, Jahan Dotson, Dyami Brown is your 4. And what was so good about last year when Jahan went down, which was terrible, but when he went down in the Cowboys game, we were still able to stay competitive throughout the stretch of him missing those games with the hamstring injury because of guys like Dyami Brown, guys like Cam Sims, and Dax Mills stepping up, right? But specifically, Dyami. But let's just say we didn't have Dyami Brown. It would be like 2020 all over again, 2021, when Curtis Samuel was the one that was pretty much injured a lot. But I'm gonna say 2020 because we had Diami in 2021. It'll be like 2020 all over again when it's Terry McLaurin, Dontrell Inman, Antonio Gandy Golden, Isaiah Wright. It will be like that all over again. Obviously, with Curtis Samuel healthy, it will be a little bit more better. But with having a loaded wide receiver room, it allows us to be a little bit more like, I don't want to say like willing to be able to stomach injuries, but it will give us some breathing room. So a guy like Dyami Brown or a guy like Jahan Dawson rather doesn't have to press to come back because you got Dyami Brown in front of him. Or we're not pressing him to come back. It'll be different if we didn't have a Jahan Dawson and it's just Curtis Samuel, Terry McLaurin, and Dyami Brown. You need to add another guy. And then when Dyami Brown goes down, who do you have? Just Curtis Samuel, Terry McLaurin. But for the simple fact that we have four capable wide receivers that we feel like can do damage, it would not make no sense. It wouldn't make no sense to break that up. Dyami Brown's untapped potential is so much so good, bro, that it would be dumb to trade him, man. So let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. I know it was a foolish title, but this is what people are actually talking about. No, I would not trade Dyami Brown, but what says you out there? As always, it's me, boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Host of the Washington Commanders. Leave your comments, opinions, and thoughts down below. As always, see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.
Cost me one time, that's gonna get you pop, get you driving, slide.